I had a chance to talk to you during the Republican convention and came barreling out of the gates with how did you stay when some of the most heinous and heart-wrenching policies were coming out of your department. You answered it very calmly, but I want to ask what made you leave. That was the staying side. What pushed you out the door once and for all?
Thanks for having me back on, Nicole. I thought it was a fair question you asked, and one that needs to be answered in order for viewers and people to understand the perspective and why I'm speaking out now. But it was probably sometime around September, October of last year when we had finished putting the strategy together to counter terrorism and targeted violence, which was the first strategy that the federal government had issued by any department or agency that called out white supremacy and anti-government extremism as a rising threat on par with ISIS. The FBI later agreed with us about 6 months later, and now, thankfully, the counterterrorism community is going after this threat, at least at their level. But around that fall, I finally had time to look up, breathe. We had made some progress. And somebody just asked me a question, are you going to vote for him again? And it caused me to pause and realize very quickly, no, I can't vote for him again. And so it made it clear to me that I needed to find a way to depart gracefully, have a transition plan. We ran a number of important programs that we needed to make sure were continuing and properly stewarded. So that's when I decided I needed to leave.
And the FBI has also determined that white nationalist-driven domestic terrorism is the greatest terrorism threat now, almost exactly 20 years after 9/11. I worked in an administration where it was foreign plots that were the greatest threat. And I can't imagine being a part of an administration that was rowing in the direction of the people who threaten us. And it sounds like you're saying Donald Trump is message-wise and ideologically aligned with some of our greatest threats. Is that right?
Yes. I mean, look, this is complex. It's hard to do in a 2-minute segment, but I worked with you, Nicole, in the Bush
Take your time. It's important. Take your time.
Good. So I remember what it felt like to be so unified in our focus on Al-Qaeda, describing what the threat was, explaining it to the American people, and being honest about where our failures were in government and designing, updating our policies, our laws, our tools to be able to go after that threat. When we came in 2017, we were still focused on ISIS. And it took us a while to realize that, as you quoted, that Charlottesville was more than a blip. Certainly that Charlottesville moment when you had people not hiding in the shadows espousing this hateful ideology, but actually out with their faces uncovered and happy, proud to espouse this hateful ideology. It certainly caused all of us to just pause and say, something shifted, something is different here. And over the course of the next few years, we at the department, many secretaries, because we've had 5 in the last 3 years, but starting with Secretary Kelly, then Secretary Nielsen, Secretary McLeenan, all of them went to the White House and said, this is important. We need to address this. And for a variety of reasons, we were rebuffed. And it wasn't exactly clear why we were rebuffed. Some of it may just be, as you can appreciate, there are many policy priorities on the National Security Council's agenda. Countering Iran was important. Defeating ISIS was important. So there might have been some legitimate reasons why we were initially rebuffed. But by the time you get to the attack in Pittsburgh in October of 2018, and then even more stunningly, the Christchurch attack in March of 2019, and what we had feared, what we knew was increasingly globalized, was on the world stage. It is a globalized white supremacist movement. The U.S. is an exporter of this movement. And the world was coming to us and asking us in the U.S. to do something about it because we were making their countries less safe. At least at that moment, I would have expected the administration to hone in on this and focus on it with the same amount of intensity that the federal government had focused on ISIS and Al-Qaeda before it. but I didn't see that happen. And I'm grateful that we had strong leaders at the department, at FBI, at the National Counterterrorism Center, and we worked this issue at my level and a few levels higher, and we drove progress. We are safer today because of the work that has been done over the last few years. But there is no mistaking that when you face a grave threat like this, it is important for there to be clarity from the top. And the fact that the president will not call it out, I find it hugely ironic that he now is happy to use the term domestic terrorism, which he refused to do last year after El Paso. But now he will use domestic terrorism with regards to Antifa, which I have to say, I worked for 3 years, received intelligence briefings every day. Never once was I told that Antifa was a grave national security threat. That doesn't mean they're not a problem. That doesn't mean that they don't have propose a risk in certain communities that local law enforcement need to focus on. But they weren't at that national level where we were concerned that they were going to cause a widespread lethal violence against people, which is a threat when you look at historic data of the right-wing extremist movement. That is where we see the most people being killed. People with an anti-government or white nationalist viewpoint tend to be historically those that cause the most lethal attacks in our country.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.